Welcome everybody to the Pony Cast. We're here on the SS Friendship. It's a pirate boat on the ocean. We are ponies. We are pony boys. We've got some pony girls too. We've got a whole crew of pony people, and so can you. Be on the crew. We've got an episode of My Little Pony to talk about this week. This week's episode was called Applejack Goes Full Retard and Ruins Everything for No Reason. The episode.
Yes.
What did you think of this
good old
one?
Element of honesty, Applejack. She's so honest, isn't she?
She's so honest. She never, ever tells a lie. She's incapable of saying anything even remotely untrue. This is totally a facet of her character from the beginning. It's not a weird retcon or a goofy misunderstanding of her personality. It's not by any means a retarded oversimplification of what it means to be the element of honesty that has taken a foothold in more recent seasons and later seasons. There's nothing silly or stupid about it at all. She just is incapable of saying anything that's untrue, and that's apparently all it means to be the element of honesty. That's what do you?
I do like this episode. Aside from that, like, stuff.
It was a good episode. That does bother me.
They haven't actually They haven't mentioned the word element at all this season. I don't think. It's completely not part of the show anymore. Hopefully, they just they had superpowers once, but now they're just doing things.
But you know what I mean? It's like in the early seasons, like in the Faust Golden Age, the honesty thing. It doesn't mean that she just can't tell a lie. She's lied before. In the early seasons, she lied all the time. She told white lies. But to be the honest personality, it means more than that. It means that she wouldn't compromise her morals. She wouldn't cheat a friend.
Well, I think that's what it's not like she couldn't tell a lie, necessarily. I feel like part of it was she knew that Rarity wanted her to talk, pragmatically about all these dresses, so she was like, well, what are you worried about? I'm doing what you said I should do. And that's why she was talking so candidly about the things like she didn't like about them. I don't know whether she was incapable of telling white lies, she just wasn't thinking about it. Don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only two ways to view this episode is, like, either Applejack is just weirdly, like, a compulsive truth teller, which is weird and not how she always was, or she's just a really dumb bumpkin who's, like, too dumb to know that she's being an idiot and hurting people's feelings. I don't know.
I think it's that she's not dumb, but she just doesn't understand fashion, and she can't even really wrap her head around the idea that these people are even having their feelings hurt, even though it goes to ridiculous extremes. When she shakes the feathers out of the hat, I was like, wait a minute, you just destroyed that work. The other times,
hat, that Lily Lace made that hat. Her blood, her sweat, her tears went into crafting that beautiful feather hat, and Applejack just ruins it. She just rips all the feathers out like a dang old fool.
Before that, it was like, I think this is dumb. And then they were like, oh, I guess I'll take it off then. But she just destroyed that hat by herself. It's just, that's crossing the line. But, she was pretty dumb. But I like the message.
It's kind of like how, I mean, it was a good episode. We'll stop complaining about it in a minute. But, it's weird to me how, like, I guess because Applejack's personality is so down to earth, that a lot of times when they're trying to make her flawed, they kind of go too far with it and sort of flanderize her a little bit. Like, the only way to make her, clash with this fashion world in this episode was to essentially dumb her down and make her, like, really inconsiderate, which I think is a little bit out of character, I guess, maybe a little bit simplified.
I don't mind it too much. It's just taking it to like a comical extreme for maybe a laugh, but I don't know. I guess I'm okay with it. It doesn't really bother me too much, but it is noticeable as something that she wouldn't really do. She would understand usually that somebody is like crying in front of her because of what she said.
Oh God, what if like the more we do this pony cast, the more we're on this pony adventure, like we start we start caring more, we start nitpicking more,
we start
become more and more
transforming back
cynical.
into our horse forums.
Oh my god, and by the end of the season, we're just analysis guys again. We're making full analysis.
Oh,
we're just,
no.
taking all the things we don't like. Oh my god. You fucking Barbosa comes up out of the water. He's like, you best start believing in My Little Pony analysis channels, boys. You're in one.
No, it's a bad idea to do that. Let's talk about all the cool things, like the
this
fucking.
was the best episode ever. It was
Like,
10 out of 10.
alright, I love the designs of the fashion ponies. All of them, all three of them have like a cool and they have a cool voice. And let's talk about them one at a time. The first one, what's her name? The Valley Girl one.
Lily Lace. I love
Yeah.
Lily Lace. She was so cool. I want her to be in the adjacent six.
She looks like such a meek character design, like almost like a Fluttershy times 2.
Yeah.
And she has that voice. It's just hilarious.
She was like unicorn Fluttershy, and she had a very stereotypical like Valley Girl accent. There was the running gag of her saying "literally." This is literally the most beautiful thing I ever seen.
I loved all the dumb faces she made when she was like, It was good.
Yeah, she was really well. I like characters like that because she's the stereotypical like Valley Girl character, which typically in a show or a cartoon is a character who sucks and nobody likes her. But she was that, but she was also like really nice and really cool.
Yeah, it's nice to see like just accents used and on character archetypes that are not normal for them. Like a creative person, you would think that they would all be snobby, sort of like the British guy, but that having a Valley Girl is like everyone could be creative. It's all about stuff and things.
Yeah.
So then there's the science, the future boy, the he had a really good voice. What was his name? He had those cool glasses.
I don't remember his name. He was my least favorite of the three of them.
He was my least favorite as well, but I really liked his voice. He had that smooth guy voice.
Yeah, he was buttery. He was a buttery smooth talker.
And then where the fucking Inky Rose, that's so Raven, that's so Raven a design.
Yes. The greatest My Little Pony analysis channel of all, Inky Rose.
Yeah. I wonder what she thinks of that. I wonder what she was like, oh my god, they know me, or whether it's just a big coincidence.
We did it. They're acknowledging us in the show again, guys. They're naming actual ponies after the MLP analysis community. We've made the big time now. Hasbro loves us.
I actually used to look in the background sometimes. I wonder if one of those people and stuff knows the Give and Take channel, and maybe they put me in the back there. But they never have. But I did see a turquoise pony once. I was like, oh, that's there it is. It's almost me. That's it. I'm good. I'm cool now. I'm cool. But of course,
someone did send me a screenshot one time of like, hey, there's a starboard bow in this episode, and it was like a yellow Pegasus. It looked just like my guy. Obviously, I don't quite buy that it was me in any way. It was just a coincidence, but it was still cool. I like to pretend that someone out there in a position of power is listening to the good old Pony Boys and the SS Friendship.
I remember when you and me were in an episode. It was called I Love Compossible Lots teaches John Delancey about something or other. That was a good episode.
The greatest My Little Pony episode of all, the 1,000 episode bash. Let's go and meet John Delancey.
Yeah, that's the one.
And all the ponies. This was a real episode of the real show. If you don't remember it, you're wrong because it definitely happened. All the ponies in Equestria, including us, we all went and we met him and we said, "Hey," and he was like, "What's a pony?" And that was it.
Yeah, but let's talk about. Well, I wanted to say Ink Rose is a really cool. I like her. She's quiet. That's cool. She's tall and quiet, and she's like, oh, I'm dark and brooding, but art and stuff. It's good. I like them.
Yeah, they were all cool, and also, in addition to these cool 3 new fashion ponies, Photo Finish returned, as well as Hoity Toity returned. 2 old not background, but secondary characters. They came back, so this episode was packed full of upper class, cool fashion ponies.
Yeah, I sometimes the fashion stuff in My Little Pony, like all the dresses and stuff, it sometimes looks kind of like whatever. Rarity, sure, I assume there's something here, but I don't give a shit. But this time...
There's a lot of episodes of this show that are about fashion stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it comes to the territory of, like, Rarity being 1/6 of the main characters.
But sometimes they really have some good designs. Like, in this one, especially. Well, it's mostly the designs of the new ponies themselves, but, like, it's nice that an episode kind of about, like, creativity and judging people, and it's got a lot of good creative designs in it. It's like, yeah, people make this show. They're artists too. They're working hard.
So what about my favorite part of the episode, the all-time greatest joke in the history of this show, Rarity slamming on that fucking guitar.
That was a very... I like that Pinky suddenly has a guitar, and that ponies can have guitars. That's a thing that some pony invented with 2 strings. And then the Rarity bit was so out of nowhere.
It was so weird. But, like, I mean, I guess it being out of nowhere is, like, that is the joke. But it was so weird.
It was very weird. I think the jokes in this whole episode were on point. I think that one was one of the weaker ones, just because I'm not really sure what I was supposed to...
I liked it just because it caught me off guard. I mean, I guess the joke... Like, they do set up Pinky having a guitar. She says at the beginning, hey, I found a guitar and I want to take lessons and blah. And then later you see her with a guitar, and Rarity is all steaming mad because Applejack's ruining everything. And she Pinky says, play some guitar, it might help you relax. And Rarity takes it and she fucking busts out some Dragon Force on hard mode. And there's, like, flames all around her, and she's just shredding. The joke, I think, is that, like, Rarity is so angry that she's venting through the guitar and able to play this, like, crazy, like, metal solo.
Yeah.
But it didn't sound like that angry of music.
Yeah, it sounded
just where the joke.
That's why it was so weird to me. It didn't sound like a thrash metal. It sounded like a cool solo, like a somebody, like, concentrating hard and doing something like...
Yeah, so, like, that was the joke. Like, she was making, like, angry faces, and there was, like, fire and explosions behind her, and it was really cool visual, and it was a funny joke, but, like, the actual music that she was playing, it didn't sound angry, it just sounded good.
Didn't quite fit. But yeah.
It was still cool.
It was still cool. All the jokes in this were cool. I wrote down at the beginning, where they were all saying, Applejack's going to be a judge, and Applejack goes, what? And they all go, what? And then the intro music plays, and then Applejack after it says, what? And then Rarity says, you already said that, dear. I know, but I'm so confused, I just had to say it again. It was just like, a joke, based on the fact that the intro happens for us, but it doesn't happen for them, so it's just like, she said it immediately after saying it again before. It was just...
I also loved the introduction of a new resident of Ponyville, who I guess has been there the whole time. A new character, Strawberry Sunrise.
Oh, I love her.
Who loves strawberries and hates apples more than anything in the world.
I love that whole exchange, because it's like, it's exactly what you would expect. Like, how could you not like... It's an argument everybody has had on the internet. How can you not like this thing? How can you like this thing? And it's just like, well, I mean, I just do. I mean, whatever. Fuck you. And then, Applejack says, well, I think my thing is better than your thing. Oh, fire, you're stupid. And then she slams the door. It's great. Like, that's not a typical MLP reaction. And it's really good.
Yeah, that was kind of the, I guess a good way to put the crux of the episode is that Applejack is so stubborn about her particular values that she becomes basically a YouTube commenter. She's supposed to be judging these outfits on the merits of them as fashion, but because she doesn't like fashion in general, she's just being a total internet commenter dweeb about it. She's being a real anime avatar. In fact, she might even be being a My Little Pony avatar, which could possibly be even worse. So she's just basically just, dumping on everyone and just being a real jerk about it. But then, Rarity says, "You're being an idiot." She goes, "Oh, I'm not." She goes, "Oh, yeah? Well, I'll show you." So she takes Applejack to meet Strawberry Sunrise, who hates apples more than anyone in the world has ever hated anything. And so she shows her another internet commenter, and Applejack gets into like an internet flame war, and that's how she realizes the folly of her ways. Oh my god, I've been a commenter. I have to change my avatar. I can't be Asuka anymore. I have to have a picture of my actual self.
Yeah, that really like brought it home for me as like a well written episode. I liked it all the way up until that point, but that was a really good yeah. It's not a joke, but it was cool to hear about Coco Pommel being like an actual designer now and being like making her way in the world and doing stuff,
yeah.
making a disco ball suit, which is actually hilarious.
Good old My Little Pony. Good old fashioned, good old ponies, good old strawberries and apples. They can live together in harmony if we all believe in ourselves.
Yeah, it was a nice episode. It was well written. It was well paced. There was a good jokes, good designs, good everything. Everything's good on the My Little Pony cast. Everything's good. Nothing will ever be bad. Subscribe.
And if you want things to keep being good and not being bad ever and always being good and happy and friendly and optimistic and upbeat and sincere and wonderful and fun and funderful, then everyone go to patreon.com/ponycast and give us some bits, give us some monies.
Yeah,
and
we have a new, aside from being on the pirate ship for $25, you can now pledge $5 and get access to bonus episodes that we're going to be doing.
We got bonus episodes. We got spots on the ship left to fill. We got probably other stuff too. You never know with the patreon.com/ponycast. This adventure, you never know what's around the corner. Just Around the River Bend. That's a song that I wrote about sailing the ocean. I don't know why I called it a river bend when the song's about the ocean.
Well, you got to go around the riverbed to get to the ocean.
You gotta go around the river bend. Don't take the straighter path. Don't marry Cocoam. That's boring. That's not the life you want to live. You want to live a life that's free, a life of adventure. When I was but a lad, looking for my true vocation, my father said, "Now, son, this choice deserves deliberation. Though you could be a doctor, or perhaps a financier, my boy, why not consider a more challenging career?" And that's being a pirate, and that's being a pony. We'll share alike with you, and love you like a son. True gentlemen of fortune, and that's what we're proud to be. And when you're a professional pirate and a pony,
you don't have to wear a thing.
Fucking everybody, that's it. That's the end of this episode. Goodbye.
True friendship and adventure are what we can't live without.
And when you're a professional pirate,
that's what the job's about.
Upstage, lads! This is my only number.